Hi everybody, Ryan here with Berserk Custom Paint, and today I'm in Garden Grove, California with Pinstriper DoRr, and today he's going to show you a few basic pinstriping techniques here on this skateboard. So I'm just going to let him take it from here. Here's DoRr.
Alright, thanks. How you guys doing out there in YouTube land? Alright, I'm going to teach you guys a few things. Okay guys, the first thing I'm going to show you how to do for you guys that's never done this and need help, when you first buy a brush, don't think you can just use it straight out of the package, because it's not going to happen. Your lines aren't going to be smooth, you're going to get lines that are just going to flare out, the hairs are going to show up. So the first thing you do is you get the brush, you clean it of course, because it's got some, there's some kind of glue or something on the brush, you'll feel it's really stiff sometimes. Clean it out with mineral spirits. I use low odor mineral spirits to clean them out real good, and I dip them in motor oil. I always use, to me, I'm not saying all stripers do it, I use straight 10W 30 weight motor oil to preserve my brush and clean them. It won't have no effect on the paint, which as you can see I use one-shot paint, which I'm sponsored by. And most stripers do use one-shot paint to paint with enamel. Okay, so you get it wet, and you're going to drag it a little bit. When you drag it, get it somewhere you can see real good. When you buy the new brush, it's going to have a few hairs sticking out here at the end. You want to go get yourself a straight razor blade, and you're going to cut it just a little bit. Don't go back real far, just enough to cut them couple little hairs that are sticking out, so you get a nice flush cut at the tip.
So how do you know if you went too far?
The only way you're going to know that is when you first start striping. If you cut it back too far, your lines, like I said, they're going to flare out. They're not going to be nice and smooth. When you make a turn, the hairs, you're going to see the line's not going to be smooth. It's going to flare the brush, the hairs. So when you do that, after you get that done, I'm going to wipe it again, clean it off again. Like right now I got motor oil on this, so I'm going to clean it with my mineral spirits and a rag. Dip some paint. And when you palette the brush, well, I should say first for you guys that are new doing it, whenever you first start striping, there's a wooden part, I blackened it out. See this little wooden part right here? That wants to be facing toward you if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you're going to do it the opposite way. Because it's the way the brush is cut, it'll be straight, and then you'll see your hairs as they go in. So that wooden part should always be towards you. I'm going to palette the paint real good. This is something, it's the hardest part to teach, because you got to get the feel of the drag of the hair in the paint. I want it to be nice and smooth, not too watery. If it's too, you got too much thinner in there, it's gonna blotch out as soon as you put it on whatever you're painting. So right now I can feel it's got that nice little drag for me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to pull a line. Remember, the wood's towards you, I got the paint on there. I'm going to do a thick line, so I got this brush pretty well loaded up. I'm going to push down kind of hard, and as I come towards me with this line, I'm going to go slower than I usually go. Okay, watch my fingers where I'm guiding myself. I got my pinky on the edge of the board so I get nice and straight. I'm going to start lifting as I come towards me. I'm going to stop and pull up. That's going to keep you, for you new beginners, the guys that go down, you usually get a flare out. I want you to go, stop, and pull up. Don't get in a rush and do that, or your line's going to look sloppy. Again, I'm going to press hard, start coming towards me. I'm using my pinkies for a guide. My other hand is just kind of steadying myself. And I'm coming up, pulling up towards myself again, pulling the brush up. Because I want to go with a nice fine line. I'm going to stop and pull up. What you're doing, you're just going to duplicate. This is the part where a lot of people have problems trying to duplicate the other side. It just comes with practice. When the paint starts feeling like it's getting a little too dry, just add a little bit of mineral spirits. I just barely dip my brush in there and mix it until I get that nice feel again of the drag. I come right back at it, pushing hard, starting to lift up because I want to come to the tip of this line as good as I can. See how I blended that right in, and stop and pull up. That way you don't get that crisscross or your flare out. And it's nice and clean to a point. I'm going to duplicate it. See, that's off a little bit if you notice that. A lot of people won't. Bringing it up. I want to try to duplicate the other side exactly. And this time I'm going to push. Pull towards me. It's going to go somewhere else. There's really no science to it. You're just duplicating one side to another. And before you know it, you'll have a design. There's really no, you can't really make huge mistakes because you can always touch them up. You can always go back and fill something in or add something else. And when I make the turns, if you watch right here where I'm holding it in the wood part, you spin it. You're actually spinning as you make a turn. Okay, I'm going to go from here to here. First, the wood is almost straight up and down. See, I'm spinning that brush right now. And what I'll do is I'll stop. Some guys, I mean, I'll do it sometimes all the way across, but I can't get the right angle right now. Okay, I'm spinning that brush, and I'll match it up. Again, just study watching my hands, how I'm guiding myself. I'm not moving my body. A lot of stripers, when they first start, they want to move their bodies and try to, especially when you're doing a car or something, they're trying to move their body. Just move your arm and your hand. Don't move your whole body. Because when you start doing like cars and stuff, it's going to be very hard on your back. You can't flip the car upside down and do it. Here's another trick you can do. When you're trying to get the same side, just try to draw yourself an imaginary line where you're going to go. And look at the distance from the other one to the other side. Always watch where you're putting your pinky so you don't smear any paint. Gradually pull that in with the other lines. Let's do another color. Just clean your brush out with the mineral spirits and a rag. I like using microfiber rags so that way when you clean it you don't get the little hairs from the rag. Like some rags, cheapy rags, you're going to get little, you call it real little hairs in there, and that's going to mess you up too. Flip it. Let's go with the Sublime Green. This is my green that I gave my formula to for One Shot, and that's how I started getting sponsored by One Shot. I actually started producing the green now, but they're calling it Sublime Green. Again, I just pull some paint out of the can. Here's a bad habit. For a lot of guys I see do this, a lot of stripers will do it. I don't recommend you do. They'll take their fingers and do this. Don't do that, okay? It's not good for you on your hands. Just do it on here. Make sure it's powdered really good. Okay, got that loaded up good. Don't put too much paint on there. If you get too much paint, this brush is going to be real wide right here. Don't do that. Just make sure it's kind of smooth. I got a little bump there because I want it to be kind of thick at the beginning. And then this is where it starts getting complicated, where you put your fingers and stuff. I'm going to outline this one. Oops, I just moved the surface or the board. If you see it's kind of crooked right there, where you just bump the board a little bit, we'll just make it a little bit thicker right there. Go back. There, that little wave's gone. Notice each of my pinkies are on each side of this board because I don't want to move on me again. Kind of steadying it. And you just start making your design. Like, see, you can do anything you want. Just the big thing is just duplicating it on the other side. You're going to see mistakes here and there, and just remember that you're not a computer. When people get cocky and say, "Oh, that's a little bit different," just take it off and tell them to go buy a sticker. That's what I do. I've only had it happen that twice. The customer got a little upset, but I'm just, you're not a computer, you know, it's hand done, it's not perfection. Let me show you how to do a fill in. When I mean fill in, I mean, see how this whole area right here is connected? It's got a big open area. Alright, first thing I'll do is I'll do just like I do a line. Just like I've been doing. Doesn't matter if it's sloppy or not, as long as they're along the black edge, is nice and neat. I'm going to show you why here in a minute. Take your brush and flip it sideways with the wood up towards you and lay it flat on there. It's going to cover that whole area in. And as you start getting lower, start twisting the brush. You might find I'm twisting that brush to the point again. There it is. Okay, now if you look here, you see this big mess right here? It looks kind of sloppy. You know, it's all wavy and crappy. It's because I went over top of the other color. It wasn't completely dry yet. So what I'll do is just clean it up. Like I said, there's no mistakes. You can always fix your mistakes one way or another. Here's a trick for you. On the back of your Pinstripe brush, get it in the paint, a little bit wet. This is a trick a lot of guys won't tell you how to do, but this makes perfect dots. See that? Big to small. A lot of guys hate when I tell you how to do that, but I really don't care. I'm just going to put a couple dots in there. And the big ones are important. You want to make sure these are straight or it's going to throw your whole design off. When I go across, you want to make sure that's pretty close. Okay, here's a big one. Hit there. I'm going to start twisting my brush. Start going, oh, the skateboard moved again. Start going up. Slow down and stop. It's pretty straight. Start going a little faster here now. I'm just going to add some little things here. Pretty much it.